It's okay. You could be harsh. Because I get passionate. I get excited about it, and that's what takes over. And so I'm trying to learn how to contain that and say the right things and do the right things and that kind of thing. So maybe I'm just a hopeless case.
No, anyway. You're not. It's fantastic, your energy. So yeah, you'll learn.
But I'm saying, if we could do maybe some of this role playing you're talking about, so that I would like to be a part of that. If nobody else wants to, that's up to them. But to me, that's helpful to me, because then I've got, you guys here and saying, okay, well, no, maybe you want to say it this way or say it that way. And then I can, redo it and say it. And, that's just the kind of learner I am.
We do a lot of that. So we totally get that. So the 5 that I had written down, and I thought we could add to this list if there's others you thought of, but it seems like you're going to be talking to family members or friends or neighbors or a sharp business associate that you've thought of, or a new contact. Those are pretty much the key people if you group them out, right, that we're talking to. So on a family member basis, I wanted to have Aaliyah do this one because she actually has a large group of her family from southern Utah that's like her uncles. And so that first conversation that you had with your aunt, would it be your uncle or your aunt?
My uncle. And that was a whim, my aunt and uncle, when I went down there, because I hadn't seen him in a while. I mean, you love your family, but, and he was my favorite uncle, always successful at business. Anyway, they were entrepreneurs already, and Jared and Brett were going down, and I thought, I told him, I wanted you guys to tell me when you guys were going down next, because I have family in St. George, but I hadn't booked anybody, so they were already heading, and I'm like, well, I'll head, and they said I could go into the barbecue, which I never even saw Brett and Jared. I ended up hitting my aunt's house, because I just went on a whim. I really did. I think sometimes you just need to get out of your comfort zone and just work. And so I just started driving down there, calling family members, going, I hope someone's home. I mean, I know that kind of sounds crazy, but worst case scenario, I was going to take my son, who's 18, who started in the business, to see Greece. So that was the worst case scenario. And so they happened to be home. And to this day, they don't know that my objective was to recruit them. She tells out their story, Felipe was just coming down to see Greece, and we decided to marry Kay. She'll say, I'm like, oh, God, she knew. And she will know soon. But anyway, so what happened is I just called and said, hey, I'm down here on business. I would love to stop in. We want to go see Greece tonight with James. Haven't seen you forever. And so that's how I posed. I let him know right up front I was down on business, so that they weren't offended when I brought up business if I was invited to their house. Okay? That's one situation. So I went in, and with that, they started asking me questions. The flip chart did not break out of my briefcase, and they signed as a business builder. And why is that? Because they kept asking me, and then I would just let them take little pieces, and then I would just go, well, da-da-da-da-da. You don't just go, well, and then just go in on it. But they called and said, we'd love to see you. And I said, that's great. And so they're like, so you're going to this barbecue? I am. Well, why is it? Oh, it's chocolate and blah, 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 blah. Well, we need weight loss. Well, you really want all 6 because you're both going to be on weight loss and you get $300 free. And okay, blah, blah, blah. So that's how that worked. Then my other uncle, so we signed him up. And then we went to the thing with Jared in Vegas. And on my way down, anyway, I needed to drum up some business again. And so my other uncle, I called, and he had heard that I was doing chocolate through my father, because my father's wife does the weight loss on the chocolate and loves it. And so he's like, well, you know what, my wife doesn't like the idea of buying chocolates from other people. And I said, well, that's okay. You don't have to buy them for me. You can just sign up and buy them yourself. And they said, okay, come over. So, I don't know, that's how I got in their door, and we signed 2 business builders there. Them. I think it's really, because what is that? In the back of my mind, it's I am not about a no.
Well, it's also, they are not it's obviously have a misunderstanding.
Right, of what's happening.
So you have to be able to
have
give
confidence.
them enough information so that they realize, oh, I was mistaken about that.
Yeah.
Also, a big key is just listening. We want to do all the talking, And I have to tell you, you do 80% listening and 20% talking, you're going to do a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that I have to struggle with. I know too much. I can go for an hour and a half, all about product and company and trends. But I want to. That's not going to connect with anybody. What's going to connect is if I know something about them where this can serve them. And when you hear that, then you know where to go.
See, and I had that problem with people I know, friends, things like that. I actually serviced a furnace today out in Grantsville. Mm-hmm. It was my drama teacher from high school.
Oh, wow.
He's still teaching junior high, but after I left, I caught thinking, it was all about me while I was there, instead of really getting into, well, how about you guys? What are you guys doing and what's going on? It was all about, I did this and this and this and this and this and this. I carried on about me, and not.
And you wait for them to ask about you. And see, this at my nail appointment that I just had today, that was the thing. I just kept asking about him, his family, everything going on. I had my little box of chocolates there. I wasn't even really trying to market. I just didn't want him to melt in the car. And then he finally goes, later, after we'd had a long conversation about him, well, what are you doing? Well, I'm just eating and selling healthy chocolate. And so by the time we're done, he wants it. And so, I didn't sign him up right there, but he wants the product. And so I think that what Paul's saying is key, because people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And when they feel like you're genuine, then they feel like they can trust you. At that level, you have leverage to pull them your direction, because they see that you really do care. And so, anyway.
So true. So true. Okay, so family member, that was kind of, you're right, a little bit more different than most people would do. So for you guys, if you have family, or for me, I know for me, I've just called people and said, hey, I'm doing this healthy chocolate thing. And they're like, well, what is that? And I'm like, well, I'm losing weight and I'm feeling great and you've got to hear about it. So, and so they'll say, well, yeah, I'd love to hear about it. And so then I say, let's get together, 15, 20 minutes, and just pop over. And I think there's, for me, I always have a sense of urgency. I have my date book in front of me. I tried to make some notes for me on how I have to run my business.
Tell what you mean by sense of urgency. I think this is key for us.
It is.
I think this is key.
It really is.
So tell them what that means.
So when you guys are thinking about your business, I think about my business probably a lot more structured than Valia does. Valia does really well. Just go. She just clears the path. For me, because of the limited time I have for ShowSci, I have to be really organized with when I'm going to do it. So I have to have a list of, okay, who am I going to be talking to? And to be honest, I haven't got to most of the list. There just hasn't been time. And then what am I going to say to them? And then when can I get together with them? That has to be clear for me in my head and on a date book or whatever you guys use, so that when they say, yeah, I'd love to hear about it, I can say, great, how about this week or next, today or tomorrow? And so that it's just so quick moving, because I feel like your appointment is lost.
After 2 days, forget it.
Well, or even after 2 comments of, can we do it tomorrow at 5? No, that doesn't work for me. How about tomorrow at 7? See, I'm just too busy. I just can't. I'd love to, Laurie, but... Do you see what I'm saying?
There you go.
So you really, and if you're kicking in some of those objections of, oh, I can't do it then, and you don't have to be available 24/7, but you can control the conversation. When you call your doctor's office, you don't say to him, well, I'd like to see you at this time. And his secretary goes, well, let me see if I can put you in there. No, they say, the doctor has this time or this time available.
Which is better.
And usually they'll only give you one time. He can see you today at 11. And, we've learned through our business that to say to the doctor's receptionist, at 11 doesn't work for me. What do you have this afternoon between 1 and 3? Do you see? But the point is, if you know when you can do it, you can lead the conversation to set up the appointment right away, especially with family and friends, because I feel like your family is so quick to say, you know what, we'll get together sometime.
Yeah.
I see you all the time. I'm like, no. Let's get this going. Let's get it going now. Let's start. And just kind of let them see your results. But with family, that's how I think. That's what works best for me.
Well, and I'm like what you said. I am very strategic about my timing, but I fill in my little pieces of what maybe I haven't already filled in with the. I'm good at both, but I have to be this way or I wouldn't be successful. I have to be strategic when I'm calling them to know when I'm filling in these pieces. But it's the pieces that I haven't filled in yet that I'll go, I don't have bookings right now, I guess I could take a trip here and go see what I can do.
You serious?
So-
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
but then when you get there, whatever, talk of the urgency thing here still, you gotta kind of make it still urgent, right? And not drag it out,
it really should be 20 minutes.
you know.
Just kind of like, here's the
The
delegate.
urgency with signing them up is, you know what, tomorrow we're gonna be having this meeting and I'm meeting with 4 other people, they could be under you. Or you could come in after that. And so that's the urgency I think that we create, don't you think?
It's kind of like a little bit of a fear of loss.
Yeah.
When you show them what the program is, look,
Uh-huh.
I'm building this leg and I'm building this leg, and so I'm putting people here. If I put you here today, I'm meeting with 4 people tomorrow. They're going to go underneath on these, and they could be under you, or you could be under them, which sounds better.
I love it.
So true. Does that answer your question?
And we
Well,
have
the
people.
main, the main thing was just not dragging, not only just talking about the business, but, with the urgency, go there, show it, do what you're going there for.
Yeah, get to the
And then
point.
say, see it later, rather than then go into visiting for hours. Because that's what we do. I mean, we're, with our family and things, we visit.
Well,
And-
with a family, I don't think you have to be in and out of it. I think you give your presentation, and then because with family, you've got an openness that's already happening, an exchange, and you can listen for things that you can bring it right back around to what it is that you're talking about. If somebody says, well, Austin's getting ready to go to college next year, I was thinking, this is a great way for you to save for Austin's college and generate some extra income. You can always bring it back around, and you don't want to be. You'll know if you're beating a dead horse, but with your family, I don't think you have to be in and out. The presentation, you don't want to
Drag it
just
out.
keep beating people over the head with facts and figures and all that. You want to paint a picture. You want to show them, that's what this really is. It's storytelling, and tell them the benefits that you've gotten. And then when you're done. But then, does that make sense? Mm-hmm. I don't think you have to. Now, if you're having a business meeting with somebody where you've said, let's sit down for lunch, keep it to what you said.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Fabulous. Okay, so a friend. When you call a friend. Paul, do you want to call Valia?
Sure.
And pretend like she's your friend?
Sure.
She's
Yeah.
your friend.
Pretend?
Yeah.
Pretend like she's your friend that doesn't know about Shosai yet.
Okay.
And I think there's different takes for different friends. I called Valia and invited her. And she's my friend. And Valia and I really did not see each other a lot. For probably the last year.
Oh,
And
very
even
busy.
then, we both ran our own businesses. So it's not like we were together a lot. We hadn't been together in years. It's been years since we met
So
together.
what I would do with a friend, and like what I do with Leo right now, is I just call him and ask him, hey, so how you been? What have you been up to? Blah, blah. Let that conversation connect. So hey, Leo, how's it going?
Fantastic. How are you, Paul?
Good. How's the family?
Really good.
What have you guys been up to? You doing anything fun this summer?
We have. James is off to college, and we've got just all sorts of things going on with the kids.
Where's
yeah.
he going to school?
Snow.
Snow?
Yeah.
Oh, how's that, having him out of the house?
Well, it's fantastic, actually. I shouldn't admit it, but it is.
Well, what are you doing with all that free time that you got now?
Well, we're actually just, I'm just working and, enjoying the kids. So,
What are you up to?
So, let's see, because it's not Shosai. What
Right.
is it?
You're
I
selling
don't
furniture.
Mary Kay,
know. Mary Kay. Yeah, I've been working Mary Kay.
Oh, that's great. Well,
still
listen.
driving that pink car.
Listen, I know you're super busy, and I probably caught you on the fly. I called you. You just popped into my head. I've come across something that I think might be kind of, interesting to you. May or may not be something for you, but I would love to just get together with you and kind of show you what this is. Do you ever keep your ear to the ground for anything outside of Mary Kay?
Do you want me to tell you what I told Larry?
Yeah.
Well, I think I would just love to get together with you, Paul.
Uh-huh.
I'm really not interested in another business,
Uh-huh.
just because I'm going to start my own.
Okay.
But I would love to come do lunch or something,
Well,
absolutely.
that would be great. Let's do it. When do you want to get together?
And I'll hear about it, but I'm starting my own company.
Uh-huh.
You tell me. I've got Wednesday and Friday available this week.
Okay. I think Wednesday's going to be better for me. Do you want to meet for lunch?
Sure.
Okay.
Works.
How about